Hey guys, welcome back, and hello if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be talking all about foundation, my most recent type of foundation routine, and how to get a nice, flawless looking base makeup. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed to my channel. And if you don't already follow me on Instagram, I will have that right here. Go ahead and give it a follow and come hang out. All right guys, so the first step is to moisturize the skin. Having proper skincare and taking care of your skin prior to makeup is going to be literally your best friend. It's going to help you out so much in the end results. I know that sounds so repetitive and so cliche, but it is literally the truth. You want to make sure that you have a really nice base for your base makeup, if that makes sense. So I do like to take the extra step and make sure my skin is super moisturized. And I do have some troubled spots at the moment, really breaking out just a little bit. It's a little bit more on the drier side, and I'm having some skin issues right now. First thing I'm gonna go in with is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. I've been using this for years. It is literally one of my holy grails. I'm running super low, but we're gonna just put a little bit on the skin. That is super, super important. So we're just gonna go ahead and blend this in. For my under eyes, I'm gonna go in with the Banana Bright Eye Cream from Ole Henriksen, and I'm gonna just put literally a pea-size amount for both of the eyes, well, a little bit more right here. It's also gonna help with a little bit of brightening, moisturize, and it is vitamin C enriched, which is a balm for the skin, great for brightening. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit and pat like here. I'm going to be going in with a tiny drop of the e.l.f. Retro Paradise Glow Oil. Now I know we just did our skincare and my skin is looking glowy, but I do like to have a glow oil on prior to any foundation. I just think it makes it look that much better, that much more natural-like. I'm just gonna apply a tiny, tiny dot right here. I'm really not even squeezing any out. I'm just doing a tiny dot. Blend it down. We did put on a dewy moisturizer, so obviously this is optional, but I do like to do it just to ensure that natural kind of glowy vibe, but you definitely don't have to. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now this is when I go in for more of a pore filling type of mattifying primer to kind of lock in the pores in the center of my face, have those pores literally shrink, but also have my skin look a little bit more matte. I'm gonna take a little bit on here and start applying it into the center and just distributing it outwards. And then I'll just go in with my finger and add a little bit more in pushing motions to the areas I think I need. Around my nose right now is the driest / a little bit of under the skin bumps happening. I think it's the weather. I really can't seem to get it under control. I've been trying everything. So yeah, that part is not looking too hot for me. This is just the things that I like to do to kind of help it. So I just like to press in. For the foundation today, I'm gonna be mixing my two favorites, the Born This Way from Too Faced and the NYX Born to Glow. But they both look so nice on the skin, super seamless, and give that full coverage look, which is definitely what I'm going for, and still having that natural appearance. That is a type of foundation that I go towards, more of a natural, full coverage look, and you definitely can achieve that while using either one of these on their own, but mixing them looks so stunning together as well. So I'm gonna be mixing just a dot of this one in the Too Faced, and I'm gonna start applying with this brush first. Just kind of getting an even layer on the skin to just apply a little bit first, and then I go in with a sponge. This combo is so pretty, yet definitely looks full coverage, and you can totally wear it like being natural. You don't have to have it being a full look. You can sheer it down. Love it. I'm gonna have shades and everything listed below for you, and I think it is like the perfect match for me too. So beautiful. I'm gonna be going in with this sponge right here. This is the Real Techniques. Just gonna blend this in patting motions, and less is definitely more when doing this. I feel like starting out with a little amount is definitely the way to go, and that's what I like to do. And then I just take a separate sponge and blend lightly on top of that just to press it into the skin. And when we get into concealer, that's going to really help out our little problem areas. Lightly press on there. I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Concealer. This one's in the shade Nude, so it's a little bit lighter for me. And then I'm gonna be going in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, one of my absolute favorites. The main thing that I love with this one is that it's more of the hydrating concealer, so it's not gonna be too heavy, it's not gonna be mattifying, and it's not gonna look too much on the skin, which is why I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this guy first, and I'm going to really put it underneath where I have darkness, but not too much. Then I bring up here, a little bit there, this one, and apply a little bit under that. It's not always these concealers, they do change, but these are my recent. Back in with the e.l.f. concealer, and I take the brush and apply it on areas I feel like I'm having some trouble. So not a lot, because I don't want to have it looking crazy. Just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and start patting in. I'm gonna just go ahead and map out where I want my contour to be. I'm gonna be using a cream-based product today, and this is the e.l.f. Cream Contour, one of my favorites from the drugstore. I use both of these shades together and dab in both of them lightly and just kind of apply it where I would normally. This just melts right into the skin, super natural-like, yet it still looks like full coverage. And I just bring it in an upwards kind of motion, blend it up like so. I never drag down. I feel like this video, I'm sorry if it's like repetitive to any of my other ones or any of my other like foundation videos. This is just the way that I like to do it, and I figured I would do an updated one. These products definitely switched up, so I feel like I just wanted to share, and I always get questions on it. But if it's repetitive, I'm sorry. And I just keep pressing in the skin like that. Another essential thing that like I feel like I have to do is just kind of lightly stamp over it. It makes it melt into the skin even more, but also just ensures it to look a little bit more natural yet last all day, because it's really like there, you know what I mean? It's not just laying on the surface, it's really melted into the skin. So that's another thing that I really like to do, is just kind of always keep blending. So to go ahead and set the skin, I'm using my favorite powder, the Laura Mercier powder. I'm also gonna be using the powder puff to go along with that to set the under eyes and around my nose. I do like using a powder puff honestly a lot more than I ever did before. I would just switch it up from using a sponge to a powder puff and go back and forth, but I think you get the most flawless kind of coverage when you're using a powder puff. So the motion I like to do it in is kind of like a rolling and pressing motion, and I just think that gives the most flawless look and really just has that extra coverage, so I'm literally obsessed with doing so. So I'm gonna start out right here. You just roll and press and then keep pressing in the skin. And if you are one to bake, you'd probably just wanna like press onto the skin and leave the excess powder there and then brush it away whenever you want. For me personally, I don't like to bake like that. So I'm just gonna be using a little bit, rolling and pressing, and as you can see, it kind of just melts into the skin, and I just brush away a tiny bit. I'm not brushing away a ton of product because a lot of the product is just absorbed and giving that flawless look. So same thing on here. And I just follow it up into this area. A little bit more for the sides of the nose, and I do kind of just draw like that. I just press down, and that I will leave on for a few. And then same thing for the underneath of the contour area. I just take a little bit on that edge and kind of draw out a line of powder, and then take the rest and pat down. And then I just take whatever's left on here and just pat onto the chin, around the mouth, and the excess will just go upward to the top. I'm just gonna keep it like that. And now for my little troubled area, which I left for last, just gonna take whatever's left on here and press into the skin like so, not really dragging at all. I don't wanna have any product lift off. So just gonna press very lightly into the skin. Right now I'm gonna take my brush and brush this away. So this area I'll go like that. Now to go ahead and apply a little bit of bronzer on top of the cream one we placed before, I'm gonna go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And take my favorite little fan brush right here. I do like to use this for powder bronzer to go in an upwards motion like that. I think it's literally perfect. And again, blending like upwards, never down. And pushing into the skin really helps as well, so you're not like dragging anything. So this is pretty much the base makeup without any highlighter on. I'm gonna do some highlighter quickly and a little bit of lips and lashes, and then I'm gonna come back and share with you guys exactly what it looks like once all of that's complete. This is the completed base makeup. I do switch back and forth from using a sponge to a powder puff to do the powder, but I do notice such a dramatic difference with the way my skin looks when I use a powder puff. So I figured I would share with you guys exactly how I go about it, and I'm obsessed. Like I said, these products do switch in and out. Like I'll use a different foundation, but I still do the same kind of steps and technique to achieve the like flawless looking base. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Maybe found it a little bit helpful. I'm gonna have all of them linked and listed below for you guys, so check there. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram if you're not already, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next video.